Right. Well, this is actually another example where energy density is quite important. Next 5 minutes, I'd like to talk to you about a major bottleneck in our ability to be mobile, which is, of course, the energy density of batteries. Ever since the predecessor of the battery was invented here in the Netherlands in Leiden 350 years ago, we've been making strides to make the energy density of batteries higher. And today I'd like to present another contribution from Leiden to do that. My name is Rood, I'm the founder of LeydenJar Technologies, and we boost the energy density of lithium-ion batteries with our pure silicon anodes. So the problem with our batteries is they basically don't do what we want them to do. If you look at electronic vehicles, the range of electronic vehicles is not long enough. The cost of driving is too high because of the batteries. And in consumer electronics, we all have the smartphone, but it could be a lot smarter if the battery wasn't sort of hindering its processor. So for this big problem, we need to zoom into the smallest detail, and that's nanotechnology. If you look at the battery, this is basically what it looks like. It's very small sheets of anodes, cathode, and electrolyte. And scientists around the world are looking for a better anode material, because that's where the biggest gain can be made. And everybody's looking at silicon as a material, because it has a 10-fold capacity over graphite, which is currently used. You can imagine if a 10-fold capacity is introduced, you have a lot higher energy-dense battery. Well, this is where we found a solution, because silicon has a lot of potential, but also had a lot of problem, because if you use it as a battery, it basically cracks after a couple of cycles. So you need to find a combination of silicon with a structure that allows it to expand and to reduce. And if you look at this picture, it's at a very small scale. We've created sort of a cone-like structure of silicon on a copper foil, basically something like this. And we do this directly on the copper foil, and we are actually unique in the world with this approach. So we are a spin-out. I'm not the inventor, as some of you might imagine. This is a spin-out of ECN, and we're currently doing 3 things. We are funded for the next year. One is to make a thicker material, because in batteries you have a 10-micron layer, and that's basically a tenth of the sheet of a piece of paper. Second thing is we want to optimize the electrolyte, and then we want to test pouch and coin cell batteries. We've spoken with the Anode expert of Tesla in the US, and once we've proven 100 cycles, we are in business with Tesla and hopefully with a lot of other companies as well. So are we going to deliver on this? I think we have a light business model. You can imagine that the battery industry is a lot of capex. We don't want to become a competitor of one of these large companies, of course. And we basically have 3 strong points. And the first is we have a very unique material, and we've proven this. Actually, we did prove that we have a 10-fold capacity of our anode material. And we do this directly on foil, and that has a big advantage because you don't have this costly process anymore, this coating process to produce it. Second thing is our machines are not new. They are used in the PV and the semiconductor industry. And actually, this invention was sort of a mistake because it was intended to be a PV material and didn't work. And then later on, the inventor realized that it might be very beneficial for batteries. And the third thing is that we do have a seasoned team early on. We have 2 people from the battery industry. Klaus Brandt has worked all his life with various chemical companies and battery companies, so he's very well connected to the small world of battery geeks, so to speak. And Theo Kremers has led a battery manufacturer which was listed on the Nasdaq. So we have access, we have technology, and we can move relatively quickly. So we are funded for the next year, but of course we are positioning ourselves slowly for our next funding round, which will be somewhere within the next year. We foresee to have a Series A of 5 million, and love to keep you updated on our progress. Thank you.
I want to ask you, Christian, you are a little bit famous in the Dutch clean tech scene as a consultant and corporate finance advisor. Why did you decide to become an entrepreneur now?
Apparently I'm a slow learner. I've slowly made my moves into entrepreneurship. Actually, last time I was involved with Lecky. Some of you might know as Yes Delft startup, as a CFO type of role. And I think for spin-outs, this is actually quite nice entrepreneurial role to be in.
Yeah. And ECN has been one of your clients in the past,
Actually,
right?
I have a very good relationship, and that of course helps with doing a spin-out.
Okay. Good luck with the LeydenJar and the revolution in the battery anode space of the business.